I hope that you see them. For every batch, there is a presentation which is uploaded, and the presentation gives a general idea what has to be presented and how. And in many of the lessons in the afternoons, there are additional documents which are uploaded on the Google Drive. For example, this is the first batch, 1-1. Esther, I think you already awarded this badge. We saw some pictures in the social media.
Yes, we did. We had already 3 clubs who has already done this badge, and they got their certificates and badges. And in the next few weeks, the other 4 will get them.
Super. These materials, we are working to develop them also as a quizzes, which will be uploaded on the online platform. At the main directory of every lesson, there is one file with links to different videos which could be used. These videos, they are in touch, but I think the most important is the video, not the text. Of course, this batch 1-1 is the most basic, so it's really basic information, but the others, they are, I would say, much more informative and with more tasks, which are very interesting. What is important is to make the lessons really they to be interactive, do not to be like presentation. And that's why in this tools which are uploaded, there are a lot of different games and quizzes and so on. So they are very attractive, and I believe the youth, they will enjoy them. This is a link to one website which contains a lot of different videos. Later on, you will have the possibility to see them. And once again, it doesn't matter that they are in Dutch. I think you will understand them, at least I can. So they will be very useful. Do you see the next, this is 1-3 batch nutrition expert. Do you see it?
Yep.
Yes, it's okay.
So this is batch 1-3, and this is the content of this batch. There are different games which will be organized, how the children to recognize for example, the poisoning food and the food which is used for feeding of horses. And again, there are videos which you will have access to all these videos. I will not run them now. By the way, for me, it was difficult to translate all these plants in English. So I use the Latin names, which will make them universal. It's not necessary the children to know the Latin names, but at least to recognize the poisoning foods and the plants which are good for the horses. So Fena is here. Fena, welcome.
Thank you, Theodore. I'm sorry, everybody. I had it in my agenda for tomorrow. Well, it looks wonderful, Theodore. All the everything that you translated, and of course, there's a big Google Drive with all of the levels, well, the first 3 levels, and then all the lessons. And of course, you can also put in some more tools that, well, the other countries also can use. And well, I saw the feeding, and I can understand that not every plant that's in it, they're from the Netherlands, so maybe they're not everywhere in all the other countries. So I'm interested in how it's in your country. Today we're going to talk about, 2 weeks ago we talked about how you can start, and now today's how when you have a lesson, what can you do and what kind of tools do we have? I don't know if you asked it already, Theodore, I'm sorry, but are there any questions from 2 weeks ago? Because I can imagine that there were a lot of questions, but that you don't know that you have that question until you're starting to use the program. I don't know if there are questions already.
There was only one to give time, Vivian, to translate.
Oh, sorry. My colleagues also laughed. You and speaking slowly, that's an interesting thing.
So, if there are no questions, I think we can go forward.
Yeah. So last week we talked about the different levels, and that you make a coach team. Well, the coach team that you're making, they are going to say, okay, we're going to start with only level 1, or level 1 and level 2, or also level 3, and also the coaches are going to put the children at the right level. And that's not always easy to do as a coach. And we get a lot of questions from coaches, and they ask, we have a level 1 group, and all the children, they have got their badge, the stable badge, for instance, but only 1 is not good enough. What should I do? Because it's not socially not nice if the one person is not getting the badge and the other ones are getting the badge. We talked a lot about it with the children and with the parents and with the coaches. And the coaches have problem with that only 1 doesn't live up to the badge. The parents, they're often not happy when their children are not getting a certificate or the badge. But the children itself, they don't care. That's very interesting because they know it already. I mean, they see the difference between themselves and the other children. So don't be too shy about it, or talk about the children, why you say that child is getting the badge and that child is not getting the badge. That's an interesting thing. Or that's why I put this child at level 1 and this child at level 2. So the children, they are easy about it. But you have your own feeling that you think, is it possible that I do it for that child? Or and the parents can be a little bit putting pressure on you to put them to the next batch or put them to the next level. But please stay and look at the child. That's the most important. Again, with that coach team, you saw the presentations that Theodore showed. Start on forehand with what do I want to do? For instance, the nutrition batch that Theodore showed. Okay, this is level 1, this is level 2, and fill in the presentations that are there. Or maybe you can use your own. Of course, that's also perfect. But make sure that you have all the lessons in the batch ready before you start with the batch. So you can say to the children, okay, today we are doing this, and next week we're going to do that, so that also the children know what they are going to do. So, well, I don't know if there are questions about what Theodore showed, because I think that's quite clear and helpful. Let me look myself. And I can also imagine that every country has their own certain things. Well, I talked about the plants, but also about welfare, or about what kind of saddles they use. Or so you have to make the lessons fit to your country. I mean, our color is orange. We, the Dutch people, you'll see that at the Olympic Games. We're orange, but I can imagine that you make the presentations in your own color. So that you, or in the EF colors, that's also possible, of course. Okay, so then you have a lesson, and most of the time the presentation is very nice, but most of the time you don't have a screen or you don't have a beamer that you can use. So make sure that you have, how do you call it? A booklet or a map. No, not a map. How do you say it? Where the children can put in all kind of things. How do you say that, Theodore?
Some kind of folder.
Yes, yeah. So when you have a lesson, you print out, for instance, about the hoof of the horse. Then you print out the hoof so that they can say, oh, this is here, this is that, and that, and they can put it in their folder. So that every child has their own folder where they can work with, and where you can put in the things per batch. And that also, when you have the certification of the batch after the lessons, that you can show, for instance, the parents or the grandparents or the other coaches, look, this is what the child has done. Because they do quite a lot of things during the lessons. So make sure that every child has a map and a folder, and normally it's better to keep the folders on the facility. Don't give it to the children at home, because they'll lose it somewhere. Do you have a question, Rosie? Just scream, and that's okay. So that every child has his own folder, and keep it at your facility, because otherwise you have to give 10 of them to every child again, because they always lose the things. It's always also nice to see the children that what they have done. Make the folder per level, so every level has a new one, and of course, if the level is finished, you can give them. They can take them home. But sometimes it's easy to take the folder again and see what they did in the former level, in the lower level, because in the levels, the difficulty of the lessons are increasing. So most of the time you don't have a screen or to put a PowerPoint on, just do it on paper so they can go to the stables and look at it, or go outside and try to find the plants. So it's quite a lot of paper. It's not so good for nature, but okay. I don't know how we're going to do that now. Okay, so that's about the folders. And well, what we talked about, start first with what you're going to do in that lesson, what you expect them that they can do when they finish the lessons. Give some information about the hoof or about the poisonous plants, and then send them out and let them do things. And that doesn't make a difference how old they are. Every child wants to go to another wants to go out, wants to do things. So let them feel things, let them feel the hay and the straw and everything, because then they learn better. Now, then they come back to drink something, or maybe, well, with the older children, most of the times they come back and then you finish the lesson. You talk about what they did good and what they did not so good during the lesson, and then maybe you give them some homework for the next time, or you say, just have a nice day, and we're very happy that you were here. And so you go from lesson to lesson. And then in the end, after the bed, then the children have quite some paper in the folder. That's very nice. They're very proud on it most of the time. Well, and then you go lesson by lesson. And if all the lessons are finished, and like I said last time, there are 6 lessons in the coach manual, but take at least 8 weeks or maybe 12 weeks to do these lessons, and do the six lessons, and then take some themes out, because people are going to their grandmother, they have a birthday, they're going on holiday. So take your time to do the 6 lessons. Don't do it too quickly after each other. With the different levels, the 3rd level can very good help the 1st level, and maybe also the 2nd level, because the 3rd level are children from 15 to 18 years old. And they can help you very much in, well, preparing the lesson maybe, and also in the stable or outside. And so make groups of different levels. That helps you in the pressure that you have to be a teacher. That's easier for you. And it's also nice for the children, because they understand each other's language. So that's also important. Okay, and then you have the lessons done. Then you have the batch graduation. That's what we said next week. Please ask the parents to come to see what they did in the last 2 months. And so you can get the parents at your facility again. That's important. They should stay connected with your facility, but they should let the children go and make their own mistakes. That's important. Okay, so then you have the batch graduation. It's very nice, very interesting to let the level 3 organize themselves, and let level 1 and 2 brainstorm with level 3 about what you're going to show during that batch gratification. Because we can think of things, but we are old and think differently, and the children, well, they love so much if they can. Oh, and then I go to my grandmother, she has to clean the stables. Oh, they like it. They like it so much. And what's very nice, the grandparents also like it on the graduation. So let the children brainstorm about how you're going to do that batch gratification. Well, and then your batch is finished. And then take the young leaders team together and evaluate. What did go wrong? What was good? What should we change the next time? What do we need more? well, all those kind of things. Did the children like it? How can we keep the children engaged? Well, all those kind of things. And then you're finished. And then it's time to go to the next batch. And then you have ICT team again. Prepare the complete batch, all the lessons before you start your batch, so that you know what is needed and what you can do about during that batch. But that's, I think, very low profile, what you need to start with the young leaders. But I can imagine that there are questions, and even if you don't have questions now, when you're starting, you'll find problems. And that's okay, just mail us, that's no problem. Then we can try to help you make it a success, because that's very important. The children will love it, the parents will love it, and you as a coach, I'm sure you will love it too. Other questions?
No, do you give them homework?
Sometimes, but not too much. Because, well, level 1, they're young, so you know they don't do the homework anyway. And of course, they also have their own school. So most of the time we don't give homework, but, well, of course, everything around a horse, they love it very much. So you can say, oh, check in this book, or read this paper that I have here. Read this before we start. But we don't want to get stressed out children, because they have to do homework for the Young Leaders Program and also do for their school, because it's important that they feel happy about it and that there is not too much pressure on them. Fun is very, very important. So sometimes there is homework, but not much.
But there is homework for the tutors.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But you can do that together.
No, because now in the e-learning platform, there will be some assessments, and it will be responsibility of the coaches to evaluate the participants.
Yeah.
In your documents, which are uploaded, there are also some tasks which has to be evaluated. So, but we will try to reduce the paperwork and to make it online.
Yeah.
Better and to be more green.
Yeah. And also in the coach manual, I don't know if you looked at it already, there are tasks that, well, you don't have to do that, but there are tasks that you can say they have to do that, they have to do that, they have to do that. So you choose from those, or you take them all, and that's what the children should do during the lessons. And, well, and maybe the tests that Theodore made in the we can use to evaluate if they know enough or not. And it's also an evaluation of yourself, of course, if you taught them well.
Now we are finishing the version of the coach manual in English, and it's interactive. So also with direct links to the website, so you can click and to go there. So, yeah.
Perfect. It's very helpful for the coaches, I must say.
Yeah, and maybe for the children also.
Yeah. Well, they don't know how much work the coaches do.